Hello everybody, my name is Asandumbuya. I'm going to talk about conflict resolutions. Before proceeding further, I would like to acknowledge 3 points. Number 1, the livelihood of becoming involved in conflicts as a professional or incident manager or a safety manager is highly, and it is therefore imperative that we train staffs in all sectors of the industry or country or environment to manage short conflicts in a way that they can kept to a minimum risk. If conflicts should occur, the person or a staff or a manager should have the ability to diffuse them in the safest possible ways. This my explanation is to brief people how you can minimize conflicts. Point number 2, conflict resolution refer to the ways we identify conflicts and dealing with it, so that hopefully all parties end up in a win-win situations. Conflicts itself can be physically or emotionally. It comes from external sources or within ourselves. When our beliefs and values are threatened, it is often created by a perceptions rather than proving a fact. This simply means that conflict can occur with a perception or assumptions, like for instance, somebody says something but you are not there, but you meet him saying something, then the person immediately stop talking. Then what you assume, what you see, is how you are going to perceive it, rather than following the fact. What is fact? Fact is logical, is an evidence, is a logical, is not emotion. It doesn't care about emotion. That is fact. Fact simply means logic. There are so many people who have justified things out of emotion, whether it be bad emotion or good emotion in judging, but you should look at facts, Then point number 3 is to achieve, conflicts is to achieve. This is by no means easy for management or professional or staffs or incident manager, especially when dealing with a criminals who they detain. It's hardly likely to end up in a win-win situation. The potential for physical conflicts in short a circumstance is very high. Alright, so when you are dealing with certain people, for instance, in certain vicinity or in certain ghettos or areas, people's attitude are different from each other. So you have to find a way how you can address those situations, how you can attack those people, how you will speak to people. I'm going to highlight common causes of conflicts, right? I'm going to highlight about 12 points, right? Point number 1, the causes of conflicts. He's talking about drugs, right? Drugs, direct use of drugs changes our pattern of thoughts, thinking, or perception, and the reaction to situation we are involved in. We are at a greatest risk of disease or illness, which we all also influence our mental state. Indirectly, it may cause debt or situation where we are vulnerable to conflicts. This simply means that the consumption of drugs or toxic, which is not prescribed for a healthy status, it can lead to mental problem, and that simply means that drugs abuse. So that one can lead to conflicts, right? Somebody is highly toxic and so, like that. So you try to speak to the person, that also can lead to conflict. So those are the one reason of conflicts. Then point number 2, we're talking about envy and jealousy, right? The reaction to another looks, working ability, wealth, lifestyles, and pay and position and treatment, or their standard within that society, within that group, envy and jealousy and other arise. This simply means that if you are in a workplace or if you are in a community, right, some people have a good job whilst others don't have a good job, and some are well paid in offices and others are not well paid. So sometimes because of these things, it leads to quarreling, it leads to jealousy, envy, so which envy should not be a passion. You should try to appreciate, Then I'm going to talk about point number 3, the reason that bring conflicts. You have stress and frustration, and the inability to carry out a task or a life skill due to determined factors or resources or availability or complexity or workload. Social related stress, frustration, like relationship problem, spilling over into our work line and vice versa. Clash may occur. This is clash of interest. For instance, your relationship and your work. Your work is very hectic. Then you have your relationship. So sometimes or you have your friendship. It can lead to conflicts of interest, like when you are stressed up, the way you speak to sometimes to people, it can lead to query, it can lead to conflicts, So point number 4, I'm going to talk about financial difficulties. Financial difficulties can add extra worries to the lives and changing the way in which we react to a situation, interact with challenges or colleagues or friends or partner or relationship. This simply means that when you're facing financial crisis, or someone is facing financial crisis or difficulties, it can lead to anger, wherein this person anger will escalate at any point. So these are some of the reasons, when you are addressing people, you have to be polite. So these are some another reason. Then we're talking about in point number 4 also, you're talking about relationship difficulties. Also sometimes it be stress up, the perception, social activities, and the ability to control our feeling or emotion. It may also lead to a relationship outcome, the partnership which is torn within, or conflict, or the risks of conflicts. Sometimes relationship also, because of financial difficulty, it can occur. There will be a conflict at times. Then you're talking about this.